Today, we're taking a look at real-life cases where family beaters got a visit from the long arm of the law. We're zeroing in on 4 cases where things got so wild, the law had to step in. On May 13, 2023, a routine call for disorderly conduct unfolded in a quiet neighborhood, thrusting it into chaos upon arrival. The situation that unfolded was far from ordinary, with 26-year-old Carlos Ruiz at the center of allegations that described an altercation spiraling out of control, transforming a domestic setting into a battleground. Reports surfaced detailing how Ruiz, in a fit of rage, had flung furniture and other objects towards a vulnerable 67-year-old victim. Shockingly, this violent episode unfolded with a child standing nearby. The victim, identified as the grandfather, recounted the incident to the police, alleging that Ruiz had assaulted him, hitting his jaw and causing visible injuries.
The man hit me when I turned my face. I was talking to the police on the phone when he hit me, pushed me out the back door, told me to get out of his house. He don't own here. His name ain't on here.
The chaotic scene continued with the grandfather pleading for Ruiz's arrest and expressing his intent to press charges. The tension escalated as Ruiz resisted the police and continued fighting with the old man.
Hey, stop. You stop. No, you stop. You're not gonna stop.
To gain control of the situation, the officer had no choice but to arrest Ruiz, which led to some physical struggle.
Stop. Dude, stop. I'm dead.
Yeah, you dead ass going to jail, dumb mother. Stop. I bet you won't get out this time.
As the police attempted to detain Ruiz, the situation remained tense, with verbal exchanges and physical resistance. Despite the chaos, the victim remained steadfast in his pursuit of justice, asserting that Ruiz should face legal consequences for his actions.
When I told that stupid mother,
I don't get no. There's no
I'm pressing charges. This ain't your mother, dumbass.
The situation further unfolded with the victim providing a detailed account of the events. He highlighted that Ruiz had a history of incarceration and had recently been released from a treatment center, only to engage in alcohol consumption that triggered the violent outburst. The victim emphasized that Ruiz was not supposed to be around the child without his presence due to safety concerns.
I didn't want to hurt the man because he's intoxicated. When he's sober, he's not like that. You know what I'm saying? He's a whole different individual.
Ruiz was now facing charges of second-degree assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and resisting arrest. Ruiz was nothing compared to what you are about to witness in the upcoming cases we are about to discuss. On March 11, 2023, officers responded to a distress call involving a domestic battery incident between 26-year-old Akbar Demetrian and a woman. According to reports, Akbar had initially invited the woman to dinner, but the evening took a disturbing turn when his intentions shifted towards intimacy. When the woman declined, Akbar became enraged, throwing water on her and attacking her face and head. This horrifying incident unfolded in the presence of a helpless child. The situation escalated when someone called the police reporting the aggressive behavior. The officers arrived and engaged in a conversation with Akbar and the woman.
Okay, did he abuse you today?
Yes.
What are you doing?
531, what's your stop location? He was punching me, cussing me out, everything.
You're going to be on Green Bay, South of Green.
While the female officer engaged with the woman, the male officer tried to talk to Akbar, but received no response. Instead, Akbar called his mother and began crying to her.
Please?
Mama, please don't get me close. Mama, see you over here.
Yo.
Please don't get me.
Throughout the interaction, Akbar's behavior and the woman's distress drew the attention of the officers. The woman provided her version of events, describing Akbar's aggressive behavior and physical assault. Akbar, on the other hand, continued to deny any wrongdoing, expressing his desire to leave the scene peacefully.
Look, this is my child's mother. She been drinking. All I told her was just take me home. Yes, Ma. They hear you, Ma.
The officers asked questions and attempted to piece together the sequence of events. Akbar's reluctance to provide personal information and the woman's emotional state added complexity to the unfolding narrative. The officers pressed for details, and tensions escalated further.
Hold on. Telling us that something happened between you guys, that you hit her.
No. How many times did he hit you?
I don't know.
Who saw him hitting you? Your kids?
The officers informed Akbar that he was under arrest. Akbar resisted, leading to a physical struggle between him and the officers.
Okay. Are you not going to give us... You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
The situation became more intense as Akbar's resistance resulted in charges of aggravated battery to a peace officer, resisting a peace officer causing injury, and domestic battery. If you thought you've seen the worst, wait for the next one. On January 16, 2021, a series of events unfolded involving a man named Justin Duboyce and a woman, leading to a tense confrontation. The situation escalated when Justin, seemingly in a fit of rage, wielded a menacing butcher knife, transforming a verbal dispute into a potentially life-threatening scenario. Law enforcement arrived at the scene and Justin was hiding in the house. The police spoke with the woman identified as Sarah.
Come on. Where are the kids?
They're at my grandmother's.
Who else is inside?
Just him.
Just him?
He keeps telling me he's going to slaughter me and my kids if I let him go to jail.
Well, why didn't you tell the deputies all this stuff earlier?
Because I was scared out.
She explained that Justin, under the influence of drugs, had been nodding off inside her residence. Sarah hesitated to share crucial information, citing fear as a reason for her initial silence. The officers tried to comfort her.
Listen, Sarah, I can't say about what happened the other night, but I can talk about what our shift will do. And our shift will handle business the way it's supposed to be.
Sarah eventually disclosed incidents of past violence and threats, shedding light on the history between her and Justin. The officers knocked on the door and asked him to open the door, but he didn't answer.
Justin! Sheriff's office, open the door now!
After asking him multiple times to open the door, the officers had no choice but to break the door. Upon entering, they discovered Justin concealed within a household freezer. Justin's arrest involved a physical struggle.
Well, I haven't done nothing wrong to none of y'all. I haven't disrespected nobody or anything.
Be quiet.
Why did he just slam me like that?
The charges against him included resisting arrest, domestic aggravated assault, and violation of a restraining order. In a relationship, the man is not always the problem in a domestic dispute. Sometimes, it's the woman. That's what happens in the next one. On March 22nd, at 10:30 p.m., officers responded to a disturbance call at the Pontiac Avenue apartment. As they arrived, they found a chaotic situation involving a young woman named Clarissa Martins. The officers approached the situation calmly, asking the individuals involved about the nature of the dispute.
Okay. This time she tried to assault me again. She did swing at me, but not enough for me to warrant calling the police, but she came outside, threw my keys in the bushes, broke my car mirror, broke the other mirror.
Okay. Did you put your hands on him, obviously?
Yeah, but it's more of like a tantrum, not I was punching him. I don't know if that makes sense.
All right.
The male explains that it's the second time such an incident has occurred, referencing a previous court case that was dropped. He recounts Clarissa's aggressive behavior, throwing furniture at him and attempting to assault him. The catalyst for the altercation appears to be a disagreement about Clarissa wanting to go to New York to visit her cousin, against the wishes of her husband, who expresses a desire for a divorce. The male mentions Clarissa cutting herself with a razor. The officers inquire about the presence of the razor, and the male directs them to where it can be found on the ground. Clarissa admits to physical actions during the argument, describing them as tantrums rather than intentional attacks.
You put your hands on him, right?
Like I'm doing like that tantrums, and then he's like trying to control me, so...
She acknowledges breaking the car mirror and cutting herself with glass. The officers, concerned about her well-being, ask about the method she used for self-harm.
Okay, let me see your wrist. All right, so that's it right there? And how'd you do that? With a razor or was it a piece of glass?
Clarissa is then subjected to a search for weapons, considering her admission of self-harm. Despite initial cooperation, tensions rise as the officers attempt to detain her.
All right, do me a favor, turn around. Just put your hands behind your back, okay?
Please.
No.
Clarissa Martins faced charges of domestic assault for physical harm, domestic vandalism for damaging property, and resisting arrest.